Hello writers, this is Mrs. Harding, and today we're going to look at a model essay, which you have seen before from your mid-unit assessment. We're going to read through this model essay together and look for the rule that the author is trying to help us adopt for our own life, and also look at the evidence that the author gives for why they believe this rule is important for us to adopt. And then we will be going through an outline if we're going to write an essay about this text and this rule. We're going to go through an outline to see how we would go about doing that. And this will be especially helpful for you since you will next be writing an essay about the rules that you have chosen from the text that you read in the last couple lessons about the topic you chose. And you'll be using a similar outline to draft your essay. So this will help you prepare for that. All right, let's jump in. If you are able to print out this text and annotate it while I'm reading it to you, that would be ideal. But if not, you can still follow along on the screen here with me and then take down notes in your ELA notebook. All right, so make sure you're following along in one of those ways. If you need to pause this video right now to go get your ELA notebook or get this text printed and have a highlighter or pencil in your hand, then pause now and get those supplies and then come back. All right, here we go. The importance of reading every day. And here's a quote from Abraham Lincoln. The ability to read well gives a person access to all the information already discovered by others. One of the best ways to learn to read well is to read every day. And there are many lifelong benefits that come with reading every day. Reading keeps you out of trouble, contributes to high achievement in life, and provides freedom. Reading every day is a rule we should all live by, and it is essential for a life that thrives. I'm going to pause here for a moment. If you have the text printed, please circle or highlight what is the rule that the author wants us to adopt. It's right here for us, very directly in this first short paragraph. So please underline or highlight what is the rule that the author would like us to live by. All right, I hope that you highlighted or underlined this part right here that says, reading every day is a rule we should all live by. All right, that is what the author wants us to do, read every day. And so now as we go through the text, you're going to see evidence that the author will give to try to support that rule. You also probably should notice that the author set up a very clear organization for us. He or she wrote 3 different reasons why we should read every day. And they're right here for you. Here's number 1. So maybe I will annotate that quickly here if I can get this to work. Here we go. Okay, right here, reading keeps you out of trouble would be number 1. Here's number 2. Reading every day contributes to high achievement in life. So underline reason number 2. And then reason number 3 that the author's going to try to prove that reading every day provides freedom. So you can also annotate those on your text. So by setting up those 3 reasons of why we should read every day, that is how you can expect as the reader to know that the essay is going to be laid out. So I'm going to expect that now there will probably be 3 paragraphs with evidence to support each of these 3 reasons to bring us back to the reason of why we should read every day. All right, so let's continue on and see if we can find evidence that the author provides for how reading would keep you out of trouble. All right, here we go. There are many negative consequences that result when a person does not read well. Students who do not read at grade level by 3rd grade are 4 times more likely to leave school without a diploma when compared to students who read well. In addition, the Coalition for Juvenile Justice reported that 82% of prisoners are high school dropouts, and a very high proportion of them cannot read. To avoid these serious consequences, it is important that all students learn to read and read every day. So there you go. That's the evidence that the author is giving for how reading keeps you out of trouble. Okay, the trouble being what? Can you annotate that? Where in here does it describe the trouble that you would get in possibly if you do not know how to read well? All right, I hope that you paused and highlighted or underlined in your text or wrote it down in your ELA notebook The evidence the author is giving, there's a few different parts in here, but the overall gist that maybe you could write here in the in this little open space or in the margins, you could write the gist of the evidence that the author gives for how reading keeps you out of trouble is that many of the prisoners, 82% of them, are high school dropouts. And it says up here that you are 4 times more likely to drop out if you don't know how to read well by 3rd grade. So the gist would be if you don't know how to read well, then you are more likely to drop out of school and then therefore more likely to end up in prison. So that is evidence for how reading keeps you out of trouble, which supports the rule of reading every day is a rule we should all live by. Okay, now we're going to go on to the next body paragraph, which will give us evidence for how reading contributes to high achievement in life. Here we go. Reading helps you achieve more through a larger vocabulary. Students who read often and who read a wide variety of topics are higher achievers in school and at work than those who do not. These parentheses I haven't been reading, but it's the citation. It's giving you the location that the author found the evidence. It's citing where they got it from. Okay, reading introduces you to words that we might not hear or use in our daily lives. It also helps you to write well. Possessing a strong vocabulary allows you to use the perfect word to express what you are thinking and feeling. When you develop a larger vocabulary from reading every day, you will achieve more in work and school. So I want you to pause it here and underline or highlight on your text or write the gist in your ELA notebook. Either way, what evidence here is helping prove why we should read every day and regard to how reading every day would contribute to high achievement in life. So go ahead and pause and look for evidence for how does reading help us achieve in life. Okay, I'm hoping that you highlighted or underlined some in your text. Make sure that you pause because I'm not pausing long enough for you to do so. So you can hit pause and then come back. But the main gist of this paragraph of how the author is trying to prove that you achieve more in life through reading is the author is telling you that reading helps you achieve more through a larger vocabulary. And then the rest of the paragraph goes on to explain why having a larger vocabulary is important, such as it allowing you to use the perfect word to express what you're thinking and feeling, and then also helps you achieve more in school and work because you'll be a better communicator. It also talks about how it helps you write more, which, side note, remember how reading also helps your writing because in the brain, reading and writing are mirrored processes. So as you read more, you actually end up writing, your writing improves, just as when you write more, your reading improves. So they go hand in hand in the brain. It's pretty interesting. Okay, we're going to jump into the last body paragraph, which will give us evidence for why we should read every day in regard to how it provides freedom. So be looking for evidence for how does reading every day provide freedom. Here we go. And last but not least, one of the most significant benefits to reading every day is that reading gives you freedom of mind. Freedom of mind. To read is to think critically. Critical thinking is a powerful tool. Slaves who learn to read use their reading skills to escape and find freedom. People who learn to read freely read what they want. They check facts, learn how to fix things, and understand their community better, and discover new ideas. They are not dependent on people who might control their lives by controlling their information. Readers have the freedom to seek information and make their own decisions. You guys, this is a huge one. So pause right now and go through that paragraph again on your own. Highlight or underline or take notes in your ELA notebook. How does reading provide freedom? I hope that you paused the video there and took some notes. This one is a huge, huge one because if you aren't aware, there are countries who ban certain books, who limit what their citizens can read, even on the internet, and limit books they have access to. And so by limiting the things that they read, they're limiting what they can know about what's going on in the world, limit them on ideas they can be exposed to and different opinions and perspectives. and it makes them dependent on the information that they're given from their government. That's at a huge national level. We live in a country where we are free to read what we want, and you have libraries that have free books that you don't even have to pay to be able to have access to. So those are huge things politically and socially, but also just even down to things like, wonder if you want to learn how to build something, right? Wonder if you want to know how to fix something. Wonder if you're, when you're older, you own a house and something breaks in your house and you don't want to pay for someone to come and fix it because that's expensive and tedious. You want to be able to fix it yourself. You know, you can learn that by reading, right? You can look up a book, you can read about it, or you can even just Google an article and learn about it that way. So having access to information is huge. Also, so in this paragraph, it talks about how reading, if you know how to read well, you can read freely, you can read what you want. You can check facts. So if you're having a conversation with someone and they tell you something that seems odd to you, you can look up actual facts about that and read to know if you should believe what they're saying or not, or if the government or a politician is saying something. You can check their facts. You can learn how to fix things, which I also already mentioned. You can understand your community better. You can read other people's opinions on things and get to know other types of people that might be different from you better and expand your own thinking and also those in your community. And you can discover new ideas. So this one's huge. It also has some evidence here that's historical about slaves who learned to read. And then they used those reading skills to escape and to find freedom. I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than that. So reading as freedom is a huge concept, and it's mostly talking about freedom of mind. So being able to be exposed to any idea or skill, anything that you want to learn about, you can discover through reading. All right, so we got through the three reasons that the author is using to explain why reading every day is a rule that we should all live by. Now we're going to see a conclusion paragraph. So let's look and see what ways does the author close this essay. And maybe some of these you could use as you write your essay in the next lesson. In life, we all have rules that we live by. These rules express our values and guide our words and actions. Reading every day is a rule to help you thrive in life, as it helps you stay out of trouble, achieve more, and be free. So I am challenging each of you to go home, kick up your feet, and open a book tonight. You may find that reading every day becomes a rule to live your life by. All right, so I hope that you see here that the author restated the rule that he or she wants us to live by, right? Very clearly right here. The author also said it again right here. And then he or she also restated the three reasons that they were using as support to help us adopt that rule, to stay out of trouble, achieve more, and be free. All right, so now we're going to go on to this graphic organizer. It's an outline to help us if we were going to write an essay about the importance of reading every day. This is how we could draft that essay. And this is especially important for you to follow along with because you will be using a very similar outline as you write your essay next. So the beginning of this outline, so quickly, an outline is like a skeleton. It gives you the bones or the structure, and then you fill in the gaps, and it helps you organize your thinking and your writing. So this one's organized. It first tells us the introduction, and there's a hook. The hook in this essay is the quote from Abraham Lincoln about reading. So they started with this quote that really grounds the rule, and it gives it a lot of significance since it's from a historical person that many people know and respect. Okay, so that gets you interested and gets you to want to read more. That's what a hook is about. Gets you as a reader to be interested and want to read more. It grabs your attention. So a hook is a good way for you to start your essay that you will write next. Then the rule needs to be in there, and this is just written really succinctly as a gist, read every day. All right, and then it explains it a little more in step 1 and 2. Reading every day helps us thrive, keeps you out of trouble, increases your achievement, provides freedom. So those are the facts that we could get out of this paragraph. Okay, reading every day, there are a lot of benefits to it, and then the 3 reasons that we already dove deeper into. Okay, then we get into the body paragraph, so supporting topic B. So that was the first reason for why you should read every day. Keeps you out of trouble. Written a little more in detail, there are consequences for not reading. So that's what the writer put right here. There are negative consequences that result when a person does not read well. Okay, so that's the supporting topic B. And then you're looking for supporting evidence. Well, these are the three things that were written down that were found from that paragraph. If you don't read well, you're likely to drop out of high school. 82% of prisoners are high school dropouts. Many of these prisoners can't read. So those are the evidence points that support this reason for why we should read every day. Okay, now we're going to do this one. Topic C, reading helps you achieve more. What are 3 points of evidence from this middle paragraph here about how it helps you achieve more right here? Reading helps you achieve more. What are 3 points of evidence here that we could put in that outline that show how reading helps you achieve more? Please pause this video right now and circle or highlight or write down 3 points of evidence that show how reading helps you achieve more in life. Go. Okay, I'm hoping that you pause the video, that you now have 3 points of evidence for how reading helps you achieve more, and that you are ready to go. So the first one, and yours could be a little different than this, by the way. It's okay if they're written a little bit differently, but somewhere along the line, so you should have something about it gives you a larger vocabulary. So down here, I'm going to type larger vocabulary. Okay, so reading helps you achieve more by giving you a larger vocabulary. Okay, and then let's go back. So let's see, we'll highlight that, larger vocabulary. Then let's see another one. Students who often read find a wide variety of topics. Okay, so higher achievers in school. Okay, so we could put that as a second point of evidence. Higher achievers in school. Okay, but this also talks about achieve more, not just in school, but in life. So let's look for something more about outside of school. How does it help you achieve more? Okay, it says reading introduces you to words you might not hear or use in your daily lives. That relates to the larger vocabulary. Helps you to write well. So you could have put that down. Possessing a strong vocabulary helps you to use perfect word to express what you're thinking and feeling. Okay, and it helps you achieve more in school and work. Okay, so I guess we could also put that up here. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is combine those two, because really you could put either. So maybe we'll put higher achiever in school and work, and it helps you write better. Again, yours could be a little different. The point is the process of looking for supporting evidence to prove the point the author's trying to make. Okay, we're going to do this one more time for the last one, which we need to fill in here. The third evidence that the author is giving us for why we should read every day is that it provides freedom. So in this outline here, I'm going to write provides freedom. And then I need you to pause the video and look for 3 supporting evidence pieces in this last body paragraph here. How does reading every day provide freedom? Please pause the video and find 3 pieces of evidence for freedom that you get from reading. All right, I'm hoping that you paused the video and found 3 pieces of evidence. A big one here is that reading helps you to think critically and how that's a powerful tool. Okay, so I'm going to put critical thinking. You guys, there's actually much more than 3 pieces of evidence for this one. So you could have put a lot of different ones, but we'll see what we can find. There's a historical reference here and evidence about slaves using reading to help them escape and find freedom. I feel like that's a huge one. Slaves who learned to read. Use this skill to escape and find freedom. So that's like true, like freedom, like physical and mental. And then for slaves, and then here it also talks about for us today, it helps you check facts, learn how to fix things, understand your community, discover new ideas. Huge, like a lot, right? Not dependent on others who might control your life. Okay, so maybe we can kind of put the gist of that. Not dependent on others for information, because you can have access to information yourself. Okay, so whatever information you want, you could get it for yourself, right? Of course, these could look a little different for you, but make sure your evidence is grounded in the text. Okay, then lastly, you'd write a conclusion. So here's where you would restate the rule about reading every day is a rule that we should all live by. Okay, so we're going to put that here. Reading every day is a rule we should live by. And then here you'd restate the 3 reasons why the author gave us of why we should read every day. So I'm just going to copy them and put them right in here. So the conclusion is probably one of the easiest parts, because you're just restating what you already stated in the introduction and proved through the 3 body paragraphs. You just have to restate it in a different way. You would just restate again why it's important to read every day, and to remind the reader of what you just told them, that it keeps you out of trouble, contributes to high achievement in life, and provides freedom. Okay, so in the next lesson, you're going to be using a very similar outline to this to write your essay regarding the research that you have been doing, trying to find 3 rules that you would adopt to live by, and informing others about them so they might want to live by those too. So when you are ready, you can click next to go to the next lesson and start your writing using an outline just like we did here. Good job, writers!